Hi all, today I want to cover about the project management topic, which is about the risk management. This is one of the very important and critical aspects for any of the project management. So the risk is very commonly used terms. Let's talk very specifically about what it means. So risk is a threat or set of threats that can lead to undesirable outcomes. Sometimes those threats can be mitigated by taking some kind of protective actions or by some of the insulated consequences of those risks. So there are two core elements to risk. One is probability of happening those risks and how likely is it. The other thing is what exactly could occur and what are the consequences. There are very commonly used formulas and you will see it very frequently. That says risk equals the product of probability and consequences. So one of the positive sides of this formula is that it emphasizes two notions. For a risk to be real, the probability has to exist. It has to be possible for something to happen and the consequences have to be real, they have to exist. There must be some negative consequences associated with it occurrence, the event happening. Sometimes there may be multiple possible consequences which could occur, some of which are positive and some of which are negative. So if you'll see in any of the project, the risk could be from the deliverable sides, from the project side, from the code side. So it's all depends what kind of risk it is, and is it a positive sides or is it a negative sides, and how you can mitigate. There is also likely to be a positive probability and also to the negative probability, so that could lose to some of the part of the project. So I would say there is always two sides of the any of the risk. So when you think about an investment, you often think of positive consequences and their probability of occurrence, and the negative consequences than their probability of occurrence from a financial perspective. We think about dividing those into upsides and downsides. Upside is the risk associated with the positive returns, and downside is the risk associated with the negative or losing money. So the formula risk equals probability times consequences is very commonly used. I think it's important to think carefully about the formula, that it has the weakness, it has the strength as well. But yes, definitely it impacts the project, so it has a weakness. It doesn't differentiate between the highly probability outcome with a very modest consequences and a low probability outcome with a very drastic consequences. It's a very likely that you might feel quite different about each of those. You might be more accepting of a risk that has a high probability of occurring, but a relatively modest consequences versus something with a low probability of occurrence, but a very drastic consequences. Generally the focus of risk is analysis is controlling the possibility of negative consequences. So you think that the pure risk only losses are possible. It is important to realize that in many situations in which risk is a key concern, they also have some benefits. So there is a speculative or opportunity risk, both losses or gains are possible. So this is what I feel about the risk, and I think this is something which needs to be taken care at the start of the project. Thank you.